Morning everybody. So I'm here at the Coomera River and you can see it's a very beautiful spot. It's got a small retaining wall here, you can see, and the purpose of that is on the other side there's a lagoon being created and that's used for water skiing. And if I turn the camera around, you'll see over here is Sea Eagle Lagoon, and that's also part of the Coomera River. Anyway, that's not why I'm here. I'm here today to look at my Honda nc750x 2016 model. Last week or the week before I was with a group of motorcycle friends and we were talking about what we like or dislike about our bikes. That started me thinking about my bike. So I've come up with a list of the 5 things that I like about the Honda 750X and 5 things that I don't like. So likes and dislikes. So let's walk over to the bike and have a look. So the first thing I don't like about this bike is it doesn't have a temperature gauge. So if I turn the bike on, it has a fuel gauge, it has a gear indicator, miles, kilometres or miles that you've covered. Has different menu options you can put in, but it doesn't tell you what the temperature is. There is a temperature light there that'll come on if the bike's hot, but I like to have a temperature gauge, especially if it starts to get really hot, because it gives you an indication of how you should ride, where you should ride, whether you should pull over and rest the bike, etc. So that's the first thing I don't like. It doesn't have a temperature gauge. Second thing I don't like is the suspension. You have to put it in context. This is a budget bike. I realise it's a budget bike. It's low end in terms of cost. But the thing about the suspension is it's, put it mildly, terrible. Especially the rear suspension, and you can see it down under there. Now I have not replaced that. I've had this bike for almost 4 years and I've done about 45,000 kilometres, and I guess I shouldn't complain because I've tolerated it for that long without doing anything about it, but I don't like the suspension. The front suspension is non-adjustable, but it seems to do the job. But overall, yeah, basic suspension, don't like it. Third thing I don't like about the Honda nc750X is this. The fuel cap here underneath the pillion seat. Now it's a trade-off because of the frunk, and I'll talk about that in the likes. The front trunk, the frunk. The reason this is under the pillion seat is because of the frunk. So the fuel tank is down here. But the problem is, if you want to go touring, which I do, I've toured on this bike, if you put anything on the seat and strap it on, which I have done, large carry bag, I don't have panniers, every time you stop to refuel, you've got to unstrap it, take everything off, put it down, refuel, put your bag back on, restrap it, etc, etc. It's inconvenient and it's just annoying, but it's a trade-off, as I said, between the front and the rear. The fourth thing I don't like about the Honda nc750X in general is, in Australia, they don't sell them anymore. They've been discontinued. And that really annoys the hell out of me because I think it's a great bike. But yeah, in Australia, it was never a popular bike. I believe in Europe and America, North America, it's still sold. But we haven't had it here since 2019, I believe. And I think we never ever got the DCT version as well. We only ever got the manual version. So that's something I don't like, and that's not specifically the bike, that's Honda Australia. They don't import it. That's 4. And 5, I can't really think of anything else that I don't like about it. So if you've got any points that you don't like, drop them in the comments box, let me know, because I can only come up with 4. I can't come up with 5 things that I don't like about the bike. Right, so the likes, let's get on to that. First one is, I love the look of it. I think it's a beautiful bike. The paintwork is lustrous, it's well finished, given the fact that it's a budget bike. It looks great, it doesn't appear to have aged at all. This is 2016 model, so it's 7 years old. And it's still got its looks. Great bike. Second thing I love about it is the fuel economy. Literally runs on the smell of an oily rag. It's a 14 litre fuel tank, and I can get well over 400 kilometres. It averages out about 3.2, 3.4, 3.5 litres per 100 kilometres, depending on if you've got a pillion, luggage and how fast you want to go. But it runs on the smell of an oily rag. Third thing I love about this bike, it's so easy to maintain. You don't have to be a mechanic to do it. You can do most of it yourself. Changing the oil and the filter, easy peasy. Changing the radiator fluid, there's a radiator here, you can drain it, replace that, easy peasy again. It's not hard, but it's time consuming to replace the air filter, which is got to take the panels off. It's down underneath there. There's a lot of videos online on how to do it. It's not hard, it's easy to do, and anybody can do it if they want to have a go at it. The valve adjustment, which I have to be honest and say I haven't done it, but it's in here. You can take the covers off, and it's not the shim, it's tappets. And I've seen plenty of videos online about how it's done. I've actually got my local mechanic to do it, but I'm thinking next time around I might have a go at it. It's something that appears to be quite easy. Alright, and something that everybody loves is the front. So here's the front, and you can see that I've got a fair amount of stuff in there. You can put a helmet in there, although I can't anymore because I mounted this power outlet, and I can't put the helmet in, but plenty of people have put a helmet in there. But I love that. You can go shopping, pick up some groceries, milk, bread, a few basic essentials, put it in the front. It's wonderful. But as I mentioned, the trade-off was the fuel tank in the rear under the seat, torque. It's only a 54 horsepower bike, but it's all torque. The torque is down low, and I can go riding and keep up with all my mates on their big powerful 150cc Ducati Diavos, etc, etc. I can keep up with them around the twisties. Not that I'm a fast rider at all, but yeah, this bike is all about low down torque. It's a terrific bike for that. Another thing I love about this is probably number 6, I guess. This bike is an all-rounder. It does everything. It's a commuter if you want it. You can do off-road riding, light off-road riding. I don't do any off-road riding, but it's capable, especially if it's got the right tyres. So it can commute, it can do off-road, and it can tour. Now I live in Queensland, southeast Queensland, and I have toured down to Canberra, the Australian Capital Territory, with my wife on the back. No trouble at all. It handles it with ease, so you can tour, 2 up, 1 up with luggage and gear if you've got panniers. It'll do it easy. So that's my thoughts on the Honda nc750x. So thanks for watching. I hope this video at least gives somebody assistance somewhere along the line if they're thinking of buying this bike. And I'll catch you in the next video. Bye for now.